Alright guys, I can't believe it. Stacy and I were discussing it. We haven't done a video on cadence yet, which is really, to me, I think even more important than the drop-on shoes and whether you're truly minimal or partially minimal or if you're old school. You know, as we go through running form, the one thing we want you to do across the board, I don't care if you're running barefoot or you're running in the frickin' Brooks Beast, is work on your cadence. What essentially cadence does for you is it helps you become lighter foot strike or more of a mid-foot strike without really thinking about all these other things that people will talk to you about. So what am I talking about cadence? When I'm talking about cadence, I'm talking about how many steps you're taking in a minute. On a bicycle, people will prescribe 90 RPM, so 1 foot comes around, revolutions per minute, 90 times in a minute. We really want you to be about that on your runs as well. And what does that do? Essentially, if you're lower than 90 on 1 foot, what that means is you're spending more time in the air, so when you crash, you're crashing with more impact. When you're spending that much time in the air and crashing like that, because it's a slow turnover, usually your body is going to be behind your foot. If your body's behind your foot, when you land, you're going to land on your heel, you're going to be braking, and your body's going to sustain all that impact until you finally come through and come off the toe of that foot. So what happens when you go to 90 on 1 foot? That's 180 steps in a minute. Even if you're at 80 and you think, well, 80 is close to 90. Not really, because it's times 2, because there's 2 feet. So you're now talking about 20 steps per minute difference, all right? When you speed up that cadence, what happens is your foot will land here kind of mid-foot with your body essentially on top of that foot. So instead of all the impact coming from back here and being on your foot that much longer until you toe off, you're landing here with forward momentum. You're off of that foot a lot quicker, if that makes sense. So I'm going to model it for you because you can do this walking, you can do it running, and people say, well, I feel like I have to run faster. But essentially, it's not running faster, it's just picking your feet up at a quicker percentage, okay? So I can essentially, you know, run here, and this is what you see people doing, jogging. I'm hill striking, all right? Count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all right? So that's a very slow footfall, and I can walk like this. If I run with a quick step, what you'll see is my body here is on top of my foot instead of back here, all right? So hopefully the picture is getting you some justice. But you can hear how much lighter that sounds on the treadmill and how much, you know, more fluid this is, I guess. And so people will feel like they're kind of doing the old man, you know, warm-up, but I'm okay with that. Essentially what we want you doing is mid-foot striking and doing less pounding to yourself while you're out there. You know, that's a mid-foot strike. This is a 12mm drop shoe. So, you know, versus a 0 drop or 4mm drop, this is going to be 10 or 12, and you can still mid-foot strike in that if you're taking short, quick steps. If you're going to try to take the same length of steps but take it faster, you're going to be sprinting, and then you'll realize, okay, I don't take long strides fast, I take shorter, quicker strides. Once you warm up, what will happen is those will lengthen out at that frequency, and you will get faster at doing it, and eventually you're just doing less pounding. You start doing that on a long run that's 2 hours or 3 hours long, it's a lot less damage that you feel. Next day, you're going to feel a lot better. So check your cadence out, start counting it a little bit, and see if you can do some work there and make yourself feel better.